We are back for my second edition of my Detroit Lions mock draft for the 2025 NFL Draft. I did one last week. You guys really seemed to like it. I appreciate all the feedback, whether it was positive or negative. I love it. I love responding to a lot of you in the chat and in the comment section below because constructive criticism is important. And as much as we are Lions fans, you guys are all Lions fans. So you guys know this team just as well as we do. So today, I decided to do something a little different. Instead of staying put at 28, I'm going to be trading up with the Arizona Cardinals at pick 16 to get a player that I think the Lions will fall in love with as time goes on. Now, the combine is this week, so I'll have a lot more information to who I like, who the Lions will like, stuff like that moving forward. But this is basically my last mock draft before the combine. So I decided to trade up, as always. This is brought to you guys by BetUS. Now, let's get into it. Now that the Lions have pick 16, which, think of it like this. Since I don't have the compensatory pick the Lions will get for Aaron Glenn, think of it as they traded that away to move up in the draft and maybe a future pick. But again, don't worry too much about the trade details. But there you go. They're picking at pick 16. So with that pick, the Lions select Mike Green, edge out of Marshall. And I know what you're thinking. Either A, I love this pick, or B, dang, Mike Green, really? Let me explain. He's going to be a top 20 pick. The teams in the 10 to 20 range that need an edge, there's a lot. And you can argue it. I mean, the Cardinals, who I traded up with, but they might think to themselves, well, this edge class is very deep. Maybe we can trade back and still get a Nick Scorton, for example. And that could very well be what the Cardinals decide to do. But a guy like Mike Green will not fall to the Lions pick because the Bengals are going to be there. The Falcons are going to be there. And there's a guy like James Pierce Jr. that's going to be around this spot. He went to the Falcons a pick earlier. Mike Green was sitting there. I traded up. It got Mike Green. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a very productive player. Yeah, you can look at the 20.2% pass rush win rate and say, well, he played at Marshall, or the 17 sacks, the 32 hurries. Well, he played at Marshall. But guess what? When he played competition, he played well. Although the team did not play well, Mike Green was a specimen. That's what he was. He can play the run. Against Ohio State, sacked Will Howard. I really like Mike Green. I think all of you should really like Mike Green, and I think the Lions are going to love Mike Green. So if you're going to trade up for a player, it will probably be for this type of player, a guy with a high upside and someone that has the pass rush ability to eventually start on the other side of Hutch and win one-on-ones and potentially at some point in his career, maybe sooner than later, demand a double team. So I love this pick. I think Mike Green would be an excellent player to try and trade up for, and the Lions get him at 16. I interrupted the video to tell you about the sponsor, and that is BetUS. And I just got back from Vegas, and I know a lot of people out there love to go to the casino and gamble, but you can't always just go to the casino. It's not very close to you, depending on where you live, but you can go and play the casino, any games you like, roulette, blackjack, it doesn't matter, slots, at BetUS and their casino playground. If you're a slot enthusiast, BetUS has the games. Test your skills, explore the newest, hottest slots, and feel the casino buzz with BetUS Live Dealer Table. Sign up now and get 200% on your sign-up bonus for up to $5,000 and a 250% crypto sign-up bonus for up to $5,000. Head over to BetUS and try it out now. For all the gamblers out there, always remember, gamble responsibly and never gamble anything you aren't already willing to lose. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, we'll go to pick 60. This is the next selection, and maybe the Lions trade up, but if they stay put, this player will be available. And I really like this player. I do. And with the 60th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select, yes, Deion Walker, the defensive lineman out of Kentucky. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking, like the Mike Green one. What? Another second-round pick out of Kentucky. We've seen this story before with Josh Paschal. Well, hold on. Walker has produced. Walker is a Detroit native, but again, that doesn't matter. I'm looking at the player. 6'6", 345. He can play all around your defensive line, but not just that. He is a athlete for his size. 6'6", 345, and he does not look like it. He does not. If you watch the tape, led the nation in pressures in 2023. That's important. So He was productive, 7.5 sacks, not this past season, but the year prior at Kentucky. I mean, this is a guy that can play everywhere. And I really like this pick because if you need him to eventually replace DJ Reader or, play some at the beginning of the year to fill in for Aleem McNeil, you have a guy that can do that. So I really like Walker at pick 60. He's someone that I think is going to rise as the combine passes, as the interviews pass. Teams are going to really like what he brings to the table. People love Shamar Stewart because he's so big and he has this number one overall pick type of body. Well, Walker, although he doesn't play edge, he can play everywhere. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, a tweener. He's got a higher upside, significantly higher upside than Josh Paschal. He does, for his size, for how he moves, for the production that he had at Kentucky. Not this past season, but the season prior. And you'd probably have to dig more into the tape of this past year why he wasn't as productive, but you've seen it at Kentucky. So I really love this pick for the Lions. Yeah, I went back-to-back defensive linemen again. I think it's something you're going to have to consider because in the top 60 picks, there's going to be a lot of defensive linemen flying off the board. And the more you do these mocks, or not just mocks, don't take it for the Bible, but if you listen to anyone that covers the draft, that does this for a living, a lot of great players are going to be in that 1 to 60 range, just defensive linemen. A lot of guys from Abdul Carter all the way to Walker at 60. There's going to be a lot. And there'll be some guys sprinkled late in the rounds too that are very good. So it's hard not to argue that. I mean, go back-to-back defensive linemen. Do it. And I'm not just saying that because I've been doing it, but do it. All right, we'll keep it moving with their third pick. And it should be the compensatory pick. But like I said, I traded that away to get Mike Green. But with the next selection in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select, wait for it, tackle Jack Nelson out of Wisconsin. And let me tell you about Jack Nelson. I know what you're thinking. Tackle in the first 3 picks? This, to me, isn't something I'm going to die on the hill for, but I think they can certainly use another tackle. I mean, Jack Nelson, multi-year starter, 1 sack allowed this past season. The measurables are all there, obviously, 6'7", 316. He's projected to be kind of a mid-round pick. He's taken in the mid-round in this selection. More of a swing tackle, I think, in the NFL. Left tackle, right tackle, maybe play some guard. But he's got great hands and pass protection. I think the biggest question for him would probably be his feet, trying to adjust at the NFL level. But again, for a multi-year starter at Wisconsin, one of those schools that just breed offensive linemen, especially in the Big Ten. And you check his film; he's very good, especially in pass protection. That's probably where he thrives the most. So I really like this pick. You get to go in day one and sit behind Taylor Decker. Love it. And Giovanni Manu could still play right tackle for you at some point, or play some guard for you. You got more depth at offensive line. You can never have enough of that. So, and you already got Mahogany at guard. You got Graham at guard center. Take another tackle. Why not? And if he's there and you really like him, you take him. So pick 132. Like I said, I'm not going to slam the table and pound it. Oh, give me a tackle. But if Jack Nelson's there, I think this would be a very good pick for them. All right, we'll keep it pushing. With the next pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Ricky White, wide receiver out of UNLV, and a very productive player at UNLV. Last 2 seasons, over 2,500 yards. That's what he does. But what I like about Ricky, he's 6 foot, 180. Doesn't scare you physically, but you know what he does? He wins a lot on the outside. A lot of those vertical concepts he thrives in, and he's a team captain, which I always look at. The Lions are valuing guys like that. Team captain, he's a leader. And again, like I said, he can play a little special teams as well. He can do a lot for you. And that's what you're looking out of your wide receiver at pick 194. It's like, okay, yeah, you can play ball, but where can you help us? Special teams, he can help you. And he has alignment versatility. Now, hear me out for this. The Lions loved Josh Reynolds for his alignment versatility. He can play the X, he can play the Z, he can play the Y. Ricky White can do that. He can play all over the field, and I think he complements Jameson and Amon-Ra St. Brown very well with what he can do on the field. Like, yeah, he can win over the middle, but what he does is play on the outside. And he doesn't maybe have the stature of a Tim Patrick, but he can go get it. And that's what I like about Ricky White. Just makes plays, route technician. So I really like this pick. And at 194, if you need a wide receiver, I think Ricky White would be great value for them. All right. For the next selection Don't really have to break this down much, but the Lions are taking a very familiar face, and that face is Jalen Walker again. I had him in my last selection, or my last mock draft last Monday. And you're going to see this sometimes where I have similar players because I really do like those players. Like I almost took Johnny Walker again out of Missouri. I think he's going to be a splash late in the draft. Look up Johnny Walker Jr. for me. Tell me what you see out of him. Doesn't have the highest ceiling, but very productive and a great late pick in the draft. But Jalen Walker's in that same realm. Very great pick late in the draft. Like I said, plays special teams. He's a great tackler. He can line up at edge. Very productive off the edge. I mean, he had an interception against Ohio State. He can just kind of do it all. He's just a great pick late for any team, and I think the Lions should definitely prioritize that. All right, we'll keep it moving. It's because I already kind of broke him down. All right, the next pick in the 2025 NFL Draft is a safety that I really do like, and that is Dante Trader Jr. out of Maryland. And it says edge, but disregard that. He's a safety. I don't know why I didn't update there. But he's a safety, Dante Trader Jr., and I love Dante Trader Jr. Started early as a freshman, appeared in 12 games. And he's gotten more productive every single year. He's fluid in coverage. He's a sure tackler. Like, that's what you're looking at, right? In late round picks, it's like, okay, what can you do for me? Dante can play special teams. He's a sure tackler. He's fluid in coverage, and he provides that safety depth. Remember, I took a safety last week, but I actually like Dante Trader Jr. probably the best for late round picks. He is a Dan and Brad type of guy. Does a lot of work in the community, high character. Like, he checks every box you need. So Dante Trader Jr., welcome to the Lions. I love this pick. And yes, it is a safety, not an edge. I am an idiot. All right, let's keep it pushing. The final pick in the 2025 NFL Draft for the Lions is Tommy Hill, cornerback out of Nebraska. And this is simple as it's essential. I mean, you're picking at 245. I'm not telling you that Tommy Hill has the upside to be the next great corner, but he's good depth. He's essentially your Emmanuel Mosley replacement. And like I said, he can play other things like special teams. And I know that's what you're talking about mainly with these guys, but that's just the truth. If you're picking late in the draft, these guys need to be able to play more than just their position. And Tommy Hill can do that. He's a long, lengthy corner, which, is always important when you're taking corners. So I think, hey, if you're going to take a corner late, I think the perfect one would be a guy like Tommy Hill. But what do you guys make of my 2025 Detroit Lions mock draft 2.0? Did 1.0 last week, 2.0. We decided to make a trade up. 12 spots in the first round to get Mike Green. What do you make of it? Mike Green. You got Deion Walker, Jack Nelson, Ricky White, Jalen Walker, Dante Trader Jr., and Tommy Hill. Only 2 offensive players, an offensive tackle and a wide receiver. The rest are defensive players, which that's how it should be for the most part. But leave your grade in the comment section down below. A to F. I don't mind. As long as you provide reasoning, I will respond to it and I will respect it. And we will be live tonight to break down our mock drafts and discuss and debate why we think ours is the best. All that and much more, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight on our live show. And as always, this video is brought to you guys by BetUS. I will catch you all. Hey, what's going on there? It's Jeff Iafrate. Appreciate you for finishing the video. You can check out one of the videos here suggested or show support by commenting, liking, and subscribing. And buy your merchandise, officialctsports.com.